So this says, Corning Community College charges $177 per credit hour to New York State residents. And that's actually the real number. I went and looked it up. Pulled the course catalog. You really are charged $177 per credit. What if you don't live in New York? What's that? It is double. That's correct. So if you don't live in New York, you get to pay $354 per credit hour. But anyway, we're only going to deal with New York State residents today. So it says, let T be the total cost in dollars of tuition for enrolling in C credit hours of classes. Complete the table below to help find an equation that describes the relationship between C and T. Okay, I think I might need a calculator too here. So it says, what if you're taking 3 credit hours?
Multiply that by 177.
Absolutely. If you're taking 3 credit hours, you're going to take 177 and multiply it by 3. That's how much the college is going to charge you.
Is that how you want the charts done? If you don't want just the answer in there, you actually want us to write in 177 times 3?
I think it would be helpful to write 177 times 3, and we'll see why in a minute.
Okay.
177 times 3. Calculator told me $531. What if you're taking 6 credit hours?
1,062.
And how'd you get 1,062? 177 times 6, and you told me that's 1,062. 9 credit hours. 177 times 9. 1593. Yes? 12 credit hours. 177 times 12, 2124. Now, what if I don't give you a number? What if I say you're taking C credit hours?
BC times 177.
Right, and I think that's why it's helpful to write down, for 3 it was 177 times 3. For 6 it was 177 times 6. So on and so forth. If I don't give you a number, if I just give you a variable, C credit hours, how much am I going to charge you?
177.
Yes, the same pattern, isn't it? 177.3, 177.6, 177.9, 177.12, 177C. What that gives me is an equation for this data. The equation is T equals 177C. So the total cost is 177 times the number of credit hours. Questions on that? Part B says, perform a unit analysis of the equation you found in Part A. Here's what that means. Total cost. What are the units on total cost?
3 credit hours at a time.
Nope, I'm looking for, this is 531 whats? Dollars. This is $1,593. So what's the unit for T?
Dollars.
Dollars, right? The total cost is in dollars. So we have dollars on the left-hand side equals, what are the units on the number 177?
Dollars.
Not just dollars. Read up in the top line, what's the 107? It's $177 per credit hour. So for every 1 credit hour, you pay $177. So that means the 177 is in dollars per is a word for divide, credit hours. And then finally, what's the unit of the variable C? C is credit hours. So what has to happen? The units on the left, when you get all done, have to be the same as the units on the right. So some things need to cancel out and reduce. If I only have money on the left, when I get all done, I only can have money on the right. If I have money on the left and I have something with credit hours still on the right, my equation can't possibly be right. Do I just have money on the right?
No.
Well, you need to remember how to multiply fractions. I'm going to think of that as a fraction.
Now, that's credit hours, money, credit hours times credit hours?
This is money divided by credit hours
Credit hours times credit hours.
times credit hours, and then I just put it over 1 to make it a fraction. All right, so how do you multiply two fractions? You don't cross multiply.
Same denominator?
To add, you need the same denominator.
Flip.
And that's how you divide.
You cancel out and then you multiply across.
Cross cancel, multiply cross.
All right, so if I gave you 8/5 times 3/4. Now people who say cross multiply, but they really don't mean cross multiply.
Cross cancel.
Cross cancel. So you look diagonally. Can you reduce anything with an 8 and a 4?
Yes.
Yes, this becomes a 2 and a 1. Can you reduce anything with a 3 and a 5? No. And so then how do you multiply?
Let it cross.
6 over 5. The same thing works when you have units. Notice that I have credit units on top, and diagonally I also have credit hours on bottom. So they can cross cancel out. That's exactly right. The credit hours here reduce with the credit hours there. And so now I have just money on the left. And what do I have on the right? Just money, right? I got my money symbol. My money symbol didn't go away. Does money equal money? Yes. Okay. So we'll do an example later on where I'll do it wrong on purpose to show you how the credit units, the units don't match up, and then we'll know my equation is wrong. All right, part C. Graph the equation. So we want to graph this t equals 177c. How are we going to label our x-axis?
T.
C credit hours. Why C credit hours goes on the x-axis?
It's on the first part of the table.
'Cause
and
it-
because of-
Because it came first in the table.
And you know, like, you kind of.
It goes up by 3.
Yeah, you know.
And usually when we write equations, usually we have y over here and x over there. Usually we have y equals something. So there should be two indications to you that your x-axis should be the credit hours. One, it comes first in the table. The thing that comes first in the table is always the x numbers. Always, always, always. Second, we have y equals something. So t is your y, which means c has to be your x. All right, so we're going to have credit hours here. Should I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay, so I'm going to go 3, 6, 9, 12. And notice I skipped every other one just to space it out a little bit. Oh, no, maybe you can't see. No, you can. I skipped every other one. 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, how about the y-axis? What goes on the y-axis? Cost goes on the y-axis. And what would be a reasonable way to scale my y-axis? 200s would be pretty good. Anybody got a better way?
500?
500.
500s would be pretty good. 250 would be okay. Still not the one I'm looking for. No? Millions? I hope my college tuition bill is never in the millions, so I don't want to scale by millions. What I was thinking of is why not just go by 177s? So that I know I would hit all of these. If I go by 177, the third one would be 531.
Yeah,
You have to extend your graph because your graph was 10, I think, right?
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking. I would have gone by 177s. I might have to extend my graph. I'm still going to do it because I like that idea. So I'm going to go 531 as my third one. My sixth one is 1062. Three more is 1593. And then 20 goes right to the top, 2124. So that's how I would have done it. I would have gone right by the 177s, and then I'm not going to have to estimate any of my points. Would it be wrong to go by 200s? No. You're just going to have to estimate a little bit when you draw your points. That's all. All right, well, that makes it real easy for me to graph. I've got 3, 531. I've got 6, 1062. 9, 1593, and 12, 2124. They make a nice straight line. I can't find my ruler. There it is. I connect my dots. Questions on that? Part D. What is the total cost of tuition for 10 credits of class? So if you're taking 10 credit hours this semester, how much is Corning Community College going to charge you?
$1,770.
And how'd you get $1,770?
Multiply 177 by 10.
You take total cost is 177. You multiply by 10. You grabbed your calculator, or you just did it by hand because multiplying by 10 is really easy. It's going to cost you $1,770 in tuition. Questions on that? All right, the last one. If your tuition bill is $885, how many credits are you taking?
5.
5.
And how did you get 5?
Divided by
5 times
177.
177.
Very good. So what I would do, this time 885 is which number? Is it T or is it C?
C.
Yes.
No, 885 is a T number, isn't it? Because it's money. So I would write 885 equals 177C. And then how do we get that C all by itself?
Divide the 177.
We divide both sides by the 177. So C is 5. Questions on that? There's something that's not realistic about this problem. Anybody know what it is?
The graph.
What's that?
It's going in order. It's going 3, 6, 9, 12.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, okay.
That's the way I made it, 3, 6, 9, 12.
Alright.
Can't take 10 credit hours?
No, you can take 10 credit hours.
Can't go over to the negative region of the.
Can you take negative 2 credit hours?
No.
No, the college isn't going to pay you money for taking negative 2 credit hours, is it?
Don't come to school.
So that's not realistic. So my line really shouldn't go down here, should it?
Stop at 0.
It really should have stopped at 0. The other thing, what happens if you're at Corning Community College and you take 13 credit hours? Anybody know?
That's like an odd number. So I mean, well, like
Once you like a full-time student, then you get tuition.
Yeah. What really happens at Corning Community College, once you hit 12 credit hours, you're considered full-time. So you pay $21.24. If you take 13 credit hours, you pay $21.24. If you take 21 credit hours, you pay $21.24. Once you get to be a full-time student, the pay, the amount of tuition is always the same.
Nice.
So technically, this graph really shouldn't go this way either. What should happen when we get to right here?
Just stops.
Well, actually, it should just go straight across. But then it wouldn't be a line anymore, would it? It'd kind of be 2 different lines. So we're not dealing with 2 different lines. So we're going to pretend, just for today, that Corning Community College keeps charging you more and more money no matter how many classes you take.
Would suck.
But that's not really true. Once you get to 12 credits, you're considered full-time. It doesn't matter if you take 12 or 21. You pay the same amount. Questions on that? Problem 2. A kitchen appliance company sold 27,000 ovens in 2010. And sales then increased by 4,000 ovens each year. Let S be the annual sales in thousands of ovens, and T the years since 2010. Part A. Complete the table below to help find an equation that describes the relationship between S and T. Alright, I'm going to skip building the table for just a minute, and I'm just going to make a guess at what the equation should be. I'm not going to write it on here because my guess is going to be wrong. I'm promising you right now this is going to be wrong. I'm going to guess S is 27T plus 4. So I just took, they gave me two letters, S and T, and they gave me two numbers, 27 and 4, so I just guessed at how they should fall in and make my equation. Did I make a good guess?
No, it should be T equals, right?
It should be T equals? It could be either way, truthfully.
Okay.
I think in this case, I want it to be S equals, because T is pretending to be the X variable, and S is therefore pretending to be the Y variable. So I do think I want S all by itself. I think these two numbers are backward. And this is where checking the units helps. So, S. What are the units on S? Sales in thousands. All right, so S is, I'm just going to put sales. So sales. Equals. What are the units on the number 27? $27,000 ovens. So 27 is just lots of ovens, isn't it? So this ovens. Times. T is time. And more specifically, it's years, isn't it? Plus. What are the units on the number 4?
1,000 ovens.
1,000 ovens
Each year.
each year. So what's that?
With those numbers per year.
It's ovens per year. So it's ovens divided by years. Now sales, what am I selling here? Ovens. So sales could really be in ovens, couldn't it be? We really probably should have put ovens there. So, if this is my equation, S equals 27T plus 4, I have ovens on the left. Do things cancel out and do I get ovens on the right?
27.
Well, let's see, I have ovens times years. Can I cancel anything out there?
Years.
No, I can't cancel.
Oh, no, not there.
And then this one I have oven per years. There's nothing multiplying this to cancel stuff out, is there? Looking at the units, my equation has to be wrong. I've only got ovens over here. I got a big mess over there. I don't have ovens. Some big ugly mess. I don't know what it is. My equation must be wrong. Finding the equation is something students always struggle with. And if you can look at your units and get used to looking at units, the units will almost always tell you what your equation should be. So let's do this the right way now. Let's fill out the table and see if we can figure it out. So what happened in the year 2010? In 2010, how many ovens did I sell? 27,000. Okay, I'm just going to write that as 27. 1 year later, how many ovens did I sell?
31.
And how did you get 31,000?
Added 4.
I had 27,000, and then in 1 year I added 4,000 more, so I sold 31,000. Very good. How about in year 2? That would be the year 2012. At 8, because I would have 27 plus. How'd you get the 8?
You would do 4 plus 4.
You do 4 plus 4. I'm going to write it as 4 times 2. But you're right, that's the same as 4 plus 4. That would be 35. Year 3, I'd have my 27,000 plus how many more would I sell?
4 times 3.
4 times 3. So that would be 39. Year 4, I have my 27 plus how many extra ones? 4 times 4. 43. Okay, so now I'm ready to write my equation. What happened in year T? I sold 27,000 plus how many extra?
T.
Not just T,
14.
4 times T.
4 times T. Because I sell 4 extra every year. So year 1 I had 4 times 1. Year 2 I had 4 times 2. 4 times 3. 4 times 4. So year T I'm going to have 4 times T.
Do you have to put that little dot for the times? Can't you just do 14?
You do not need the little dot. Oops. You do need to write 27 correctly. I put the little dot just because I had put the little dot on all the ones up above, so I was trying to make it look exactly the same. But no, technically you do not need the little dot. She asked if I need that little dot right there.
No, you put 27 plus 4 T.
Oh gosh. That's supposed to be a plus. Plus 40. That better? So apparently I need the little dot because I can't write it correctly without it. But no, you do not need to write the little dot. Okay, now let's perform a unit analysis. So we have S equals 27 plus 4T. So S was sales again, right? And what are we selling?
Ovens.
Ovens. So we have ovens equals 27. What was the unit on 27? Ovens. So that's a great sign. So far we have ovens equals ovens. That looks promising. Plus, what was the unit on 4?
Per year?
Ovens
Ovens per year.
each year. So that's ovens per year. Ovens divided by years. And finally, what was the unit on T? Years. And so once again, we notice we have our fraction deal where the years are on top. They reduce diagonally. So ovens equals ovens plus ovens. Does ovens equal ovens plus ovens?
This is not math.
You're right, it's not math.
This is ridiculous. Can't just throw ovens in there.
Can't just throw ovens in there? Questions on that? If you are a nursing major, you will do things like this all the time. How come?
Units, like syringes, you know.
In nursing, you're dealing with units all the time. For example, medicine. What happens with medicine?
Units, you gotta give the right amount.
Right, you're supposed to give perhaps...
Like proportions, right?
Right, so you'll be told you need to give 0.2 grams per 30 pounds. So then you need to know how much the person weighs, except they won't actually give it to you in pounds, they'll give it to you in kilograms, by the way. They don't use pounds in the medical field. But I made it pounds to be easy. So they'll tell you, so you'll have to figure out the person's weight, and then from the weight, plus the other units you had, you need to figure out how much medicine to give the person. What happens if you don't give the right amount?
They die.
If you give way too much, perhaps you just killed somebody. What if you don't give enough?
Still
It
kill
doesn't
somebody.
work.
You might kill somebody still because the medicine didn't work. That's a bad situation. So watching units can be a very important thing. It's extremely important in nursing. Okay, graph the equation. Once again, I think it's okay to go 1, 2, 3, 4 here in this direction, because this is my years, this is time. And here we got ovens. I think I'm going to do our little twiddle trick that we talked about. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to start right here at 27, and then what would I do? Go up by 4s would be real clever, wouldn't it? So that's 31, 35, 39, 43. I probably should have spread those out a little bit, but I didn't. Too late. 127, 231.
No, 027.
Rats. 027. Thank you. 131. See, this is why you're supposed to use pencil, not pen. 235. 3. 39. 4. 43. So my line looks like so. Ignore these dots. These are mistakes. Find the year when the sales were 51,000 ovens. How would you do that?
Add 4 more.
You could keep going, add 4 more. So if I add 4 more, that would put me at 47. 4 more after that puts me at 51. So when is that?
Year 6.
That would be year 6, because I have to go table, don't I? So year 6, in other words,
2006.
next year, 2016. We started in the year 2010.
Yeah.
Questions on that?